Good evening to all of my wonderful family and friends and those who are just watching me and newly watching me here on YouTube land via my videos. Thank you all for hopping on. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the many of you that have liked, you're sharing, you're commenting. I love that. I appreciate you. Thank you for hitting the notification bell. You know, if you hit that notification bell, you'll know every time that I upload anything. So I'm doing my shorts now. I'm uploading just some video content, some picture content, and as you all can see, I'm trying to come as often as I possibly can and share with you all from a heart space of what it looks like, what it feels like, what it is to experience a life from such a broken space to one of healing. And this is why I am coming back this evening, because today I had some amazing conversation with some professionals in regards to, you know, a topic that I find very, very important. And I talked about it earlier a lot this year, but I just wanted to come back and I wanted to hit this again this evening. And after talking to a few friends and a couple colleagues just in regard to mental health, and we all were discussing, of course you all know Stephen Twitch Boss, and with his recent decision to take his own life and leave behind 3 beautiful children and a beautiful wife. And I was just sharing with them today, and I even took down some notes. I was like, wait a minute, say that again. But earlier this morning, I talked from a space of even why this channel, Healing to Help Heal, was even started. But today, when I had some downtime, and I really began to process, you know, some of the things that I was listening and some of the things that I was hearing about this man's life, which so relates to an average person's life, you know, who's happy and who's the life of the party, and people that appear to just have it all or have it all together. So this is why I said, you know what, I am going to take a few moments this evening, and I want to come back and I want to visit this thing again, because I had a few moments to really just process and what's really happening and what we see in the lives of folks who really appear to have it together and appear to be happy and appear to, you know, not have any issues, circumstances, or situations going on the inside. And as you all know, this is how my channel was birthed. And I say it so often, even with, you know, even YouTube was such a blessing in my life, along with family and friends and, you know, some of my spiritual connections. But this is why I know what this channel is going to do. I know what my Facebook page, and when I went live, and I know the hearts and the lives of the many folks that it touched. But I just want to share really quick before I shut it down this evening from this space. Really quick before I take it in and shut it down. I want to share from this space really quick. Again, thank you all for your likes. Thank you all for your shares. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you all for your notifications. Hitting the button. I appreciate the support. But I want to say one thing. I want to let each and every one of you all that'll watch this segment tonight is, if I can't share anything else with you all, and this is what when I was talking to a few of my colleagues that they're experts and they're doctors in this area, the mental health, there's a way out. And I touched on it a little bit this morning on my other video. But I just want to let you all know, if you're watching this tonight, if you're watching this tomorrow, next week, next year, there is a way out. There's a way out. Mental health is real. Mental illness is real. It's 2 different things, but it's really real. And really, pain can be overwhelming. And your brain, we're talking about how the brain works and how the brain The brain can really fool you. It can really trick you. If you know family and friends, if you got someone that you're concerned about, do not take it lightly, especially in 22, especially at the end of the year. I mean, it's that we were talking about, they were explaining to me the timing and what happens with your brain and how it does, how it gets wore out and, over a period in space and time. If those things, if things are not counteracted, and it's so amazing because you all have watched my journey when I lost my son in 2019. And these are some of the things when I was listening to the doctors, and some of them don't even know my story. They don't know my journey, but they were saying how if people don't learn how to fight back and how to fight the mental aspect of their lives, it just wears thin. It just wears thin. If there's no way to counteract a lot of the things that they're experiencing, literally, it just wears on you over time. And you break down and you get to a space where you really feel like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is no, and I said that today, how even when I was thinking about, Twitch, and when people get to that space, no, I didn't get to the space of, okay, I'm going to end my life, but I was in a deep, dark tunnel. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like where I had no hope. My mind began to think of today whenever I remember, and it's funny because parts of my son's services flash back. That's what's happened over the 3 years. I couldn't even remember some of that day, the day that I went to lay him to rest. But my sister, I remember leaning back, and I remember during the service, I leaned my head back and kind of on her face, and she may not remember it, but I remember saying, I can't live my life without him. I just can't imagine living my life without my son. And I was saying then is I can't imagine waking up every day, breathing, and him not ever walking through the door again. So what I'm saying is, I know what a dark space feels like. I know what no hope feels like. I know what, one day we were I was in her car, and she had her sunroof, and she went in to pick up a prescription. I laid my head back and I looked up at the sky, and it was a few months after my son had passed. And I remember thinking in my heart, as I looked up at the sky, my baby is up there and he's looking down on me. You mean to tell me for the rest of my life, I'll look up at the sky and my baby's going to be up there, and I'll never touch his face again. I'll never touch his hand again. So this is why I'm telling you, this page is going to really help someone, because I'm authentic enough and I'm transparent enough to say I've been in a dark space before where it didn't matter if I woke up the next day. It didn't matter if at that moment I was taking my last breath. And then all of the situations after the death of my son that happened so quickly, that tried to keep me in a dark space, that put me in a darker space that I would have to fight and fight and fight to come from. All of these issues and circumstances. I mean, it was, if the enemy, I know what it feels like for him to choke the life out of me, and I could not breathe spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I mean, literally, one thing after another. And I'm some of the situations and circumstances that I faced in my dark moments. Listen at me. They might have not been as dark if I wasn't already so broken. So this is why I tell you, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy you on this thing called life. He just the things that are allowed time after time after time, the things that are allowed time after time, after you're already broken, then something else. After you're already hurting, then something else. What happens is, these are things that are set out into these dark spaces that are set out to keep you in a dark space. And when you look at people like Twitch, and you look at people that appear to be so happy in their quiet moments, in their down moments, the life is adding to their already mindset, broken, damaged, worthless, no hope, no strength, no peace, the mental anguish that you seem to go in a silent space. And this is why I thank God. I want to share this with you. That's why this is, to me, I just want to let you know that there's a way out. There is a way out. There is a way out of your darkness. There is a way out of your loneliness, of the brokenness, of the grief, the pain, the hurt. You're watching someone 3 years later. There is a way out. There is someone that is sitting by waiting. They may not call you, but you can call them. They may not text you, but you can text them. They may not reach out to you, but you can reach out to them. You have to know that you're valuable. There is a way out of your darkness, of these overwhelming times, these hard spaces. I'm telling you, there is a way out. The circumstances and situations in this world, in this life, come to wear us out. They come to take us out. That mental health will literally deteriorate the brain structure. Listen, I had what I just learned what grief brain was. No memory. I mean, sometimes I couldn't remember where I set my keys. I couldn't find my purse. This is what life does to the brain, mental health. That was just grief. Just imagine so many other things. People experience these things. You lose your mental strength. And this is when you start to lose your hope. You lose this anytime. And then as you go on through life, there's triggers to your trauma. I said that this morning, and I mean that. There's things that come to remind you of the traumas in your life. There's things to come to trigger hurt. I mean, I shared that this morning with watching Twitch and watching him dance, and it made me think of my son. These things will remind us of other levels of pain and grief and hurt. There's triggers. So this is why it's important for you to understand. And I'm speaking to someone tonight, and I'm speaking to someone in YouTube land. I have one of my niece. She'll share this on my page, but this is going straight into YouTube land. Someone you is waiting. You can call someone. You can reach out. People need to understand that we are watching people every day. We're looking at people every day. We're working beside people every day. We're riding beside people every day. We're talking to people every day that are just existing and they're not living. Their brain is literally deteriorating. The mental strength is being broken down more and more every day. They see no hope. They see no way out. But I'm telling you, if you're watching me, there is hope. There is a way out. Mental illness is a daily battle. I'm telling you, I was weeks and months. And then I had a major distraction a year after my son's death. And when I finally pulled away and had to walk, I had to really walk his death out alone, because I wasn't alone for the first year. I really wasn't. And when I got to a space where I really had to walk it out alone, that's when I could really see the level and the depths of my mental unhealthiness. And then I could see how people around me that were not healed as well at all, and was causing me more damage. Some unintentional and some intentional. Mental illness is a daily battle. People go to work. They make 6-7 figures, as we can see. They live in nice homes. They unlock the doors. They drive fine cars. They wear the finest clothing. They carry the finest purse. They wear the top accessories, the finest cologne and perfume. They look the part. They hold positions. They appear to be very successful. But the mental illness is real, and it's a battle every day. And this is why I tell people, do the work, get healed properly, because it'll lay dormant. We don't know how long, but it was obviously that this man had some issues. But I know what that feels like to lie dormant. I know what it feels like to not understand how to fix it, but to cry out. I have faith. I have friends. I thank God for that. I wasn't embarrassed or ashamed to make the call. I do have therapy. I have a therapist. I have a counselor. I have family and friends. I have prayer warriors that know my situation, and I'm real with it. And this is how I got to a space of healing. This is how I cried out. I snotted out. I threw up. I didn't eat. Listen at me. I sat in dark rooms. I understand dark spaces. But I'm telling you today, mental illness, mental issues, mental health is real. It is real. Do not take it lightly. And I told you since COVID that we were going to see things on the rise trend. This is the first year that the world has been open from January to December. We have another 2 years that things will escalate. People need to understand there is hope for you. There is a way out for you. There is someone waiting. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. Those that are struggling with mental illnesses and mental health issues, they think we thought there is no clue. There's listen. And for those of you need to understand, when you're around people, family or friends, listen, pay very close attention to it. It doesn't go away. I don't care what you say. If that problem has not been worked through, it is there and lies dormant. And the next issue that comes along, the next heartbreak that comes along, the next hurt that comes along, the next disappointment that comes along, that could be the one that break the camel's back. Do not take it lightly. Hear me out. Do not take it lightly. I want you to understand this, that most people have no clue of the difference between ending the pain of no hope than ending their life. There's no clear thinking. When it comes down to the decision, they really don't understand the difference between ending this pain, which is no hope, than just ending my life and I can just get out of the way. Please listen to what I'm telling you. I knew I had to do something different because the pain was not normal. It wasn't regular. The mental anguish that I was experiencing in 2019, 2020, and some of 21 was not regular. And I knew that I had to do something to fix it. I knew I did. I knew I did. Okay? Dark places makes us feel hopeless. And I say us, that was my journey. Dark places makes us all feel hopeless. Now, it's according to how long you're going to cover up your dark place. It's according to if you're going to reach out in the mix amongst your dark place. It's according to you. If you're watching me, if you know somebody, reach out. If people come across your heart, your mind, send the text, make the call. Especially if they have expressed their concerns or you know they're going through. Dark places, well, it's a trick to those places. Darkness is a trick, okay? And I want you to understand that pain can make you feel like there's no way out. There is. That's what I want to share with you tonight. Pain can make you feel like there's nowhere out. There's no way out, but there is. You matter. You're worth it. And the fight is worth it. The fight doesn't feel good, but you matter. You're worth it. And the fight is worth it. Someone is waiting to hear from you. Someone is waiting to listen. I promise you. Someone is. I pray that you find a safe space. I pray that you find a safe person. Please reach out to someone. Please reach out. Make a call. Make an appointment. There's hope for you. And there's help. There's hope and there's help for you. I pray again that you find a safe space, that you find a safe person. All of these are examples of my experience. That you reach out, that you make a call, that you make an appointment, because there is hope and there's help. There's a 988 suicide. Spell out suicide. 988 suicide. That's a number that you can just call to talk to someone about your feelings. Even if you don't feel like it's suicidal, you can call and talk to someone about your feelings. 988 suicide. 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can text. Now they have a text and talk. You can text 741-741 and just put a question mark or ask a question and they will text you back. You can text 741-741 and they will text you back. You can Google and they will chat with you. You can Google 1-800 or the suicide helpline, and there's a link where you can chat with someone right on the internet. there is hope. There is hope where you feel like there's no help. There's hope. And that's my prayer. And that's what I wanted to share tonight. Because after I talked to my colleagues and I talked to those that specialize in mental health, and I thought about my own journey, I had to come back tonight to share this with you all. And my prayer is that you reach out. I'm extremely blessed. I still am. I still am. And I'm forever grateful. 3 years on the journey. And I get to experience what real joy feels like, but it came from a lot of work, a lot of support. So I pray that for you tonight. Be encouraged. There is a way out. There is a way out. Love, peace, and happiness. Demetrius Thomas, your Peakologist.